Hi everyone, this is Kryluck, and welcome to my very first Let's Play of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, which you can probably tell from the video title. So I decided to get into Let's Playing, particularly this game, because I feel like I am decent enough at this game where I can at least be somewhat interesting. But yeah, why am I Let's Playing? This is a new thing that I'm doing, and I realized that there is a sort of fun aspect to having people watch me play video games, I guess, or playing with people. When I was in college, it was very easy to have people play video games with you, watch you playing. One thing I remember, and this definitely dates me, ages me. You can guess how old I am. When I was in college when Halo came out, and a bunch of friends and I just stayed up marathoning the game. There were maybe like 6 of us in the room. Gets to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and we realized that we had a friend who was working on a final and never returned from lab. And we were like, oh crap, he could be, passed out on a bench somewhere, in the middle of campus. Maybe someone's stabbed him or done any number of horrible things to him while he could be dead, for all we know. God forbid. We should go look for him. But we really want to see what happens to Master Chief. So, we were also engrossed in the game. We're like, he'll be fine, and he did end up coming back a couple hours later. He was fine. He was just in lab working on his final project that long. So I guess I miss that camaraderie, so to speak. The social aspect of video games, and I'm not big on online play, so I think this is kind of the best outlet that I've identified for kind of getting that back. Not, to the point where you're like a little bit worried about your friend's safety. Not to the extent where he could be in any real danger, but I do like that social aspect. So that's why I guess, know thyself. Just good advice in all of life. Understand your motivations for anything. And I think that is why I have decided to Let's Play. But why should you watch me Let's Play? Here you are, 3 minutes in already, so you're already a little invested, and 3 minutes is about the length of time that I give up on a YouTube video. So I would assume that if you're sticking around, you're maybe sticking around at least a little bit to understand, hear me make a pitch. So there are 3 reasons, I guess, that I watch people Let's Play. Maybe this is where I'll make my argument for watching me. The first reason is if someone really is playing a game that I really don't want to play, but I'm curious about. I don't want to spend the money to pay the game or the time investment. And I'm like, what's this all about? I will sit and watch someone play it. I do the same thing with horror movies. My wife doesn't like horror movies. I don't really have a lot of friends that will go see horror movies with me. So, Book of Shadows is good. So I usually go on Wikipedia and say, oh, what was that movie Mother all about? I'll read the spoilers. And that's how I deal with horror movies. So same thing with video games. Like, let's say I really want to know what a video game's all about, but I don't want to sit and play it, or I suck at it, like I do at a lot of FPSs or fighting games or what have you. I will watch that. So that's reason 1 I watch Let's Plays. Reason 2 is that slightly more, I guess, dark side of watching, if you will. But competitive person by nature, and I guess this would be a mode of watching I kind of call, like, not hate watching, but, you know, watching to be like, oh, I'm better at this game than this person, or, you know, compare myself to other people playing and just see, you know, get that competitive aspect and like to judge their decision. So, you know, that's a perfectly valid reason for watching me. You can hate on me for playing this game poorly. I think I'm all right at it. I don't think I'm amazing at it, but I've got a decent amount of skill, I think. And the third reason I watch Let's Plays is there are people that I just genuinely find interesting and funny. And so I think that's kind of part of where I am, is I'm hoping that I will be considered interesting or funny. Hey, honey. To watch me Let's Play. There's also a secret reason that I'm doing this. Is I have a friend who works for YouTube, and he is convinced that this is how I will build up my viewer base, to have me then post my sketch comedy that I dabble in, and then everyone will watch me do sketch comedy, and I will become a big comedic star, and write the next Bring It On movie. So that's the ulterior secret motive. Now, is that realistic? Yes. Or no. I'm an engineer by day, so we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. I doubt it. Yeah, I do dabble in comedy. And this kind of brings me, you know, back to that third point. Maybe you'll find me funny and interesting. And this certainly will link to my Twitter, and my Twitter is my different comedic persona. I do believe that, as it were, even though I've been trained in improvisational comedy, that it's very different to kind of play and improvise versus how you would do it on a stage with a team. And then also in terms of sketch comedy and Twitter, you know, I can sit and write about things. Oh, I did not want to do that. Whereas here, you know, I'm trying to play live and record live, so it's a little bit different. So I will probably honestly end up making this, as I find my voice as a Let's Player, will probably end up being something more like a vlog, where I wax philosophical about this or that. In particular, one thing is as I you know, try to find my voice as a Let's Player, it's important to understand, you know, what it is that you want to say. Coming back to that know thyself sort of philosophy. And I've watched a fair bit of Let's Plays, you know, even back in the day, back when Let's Plays were really getting off the ground by From Something Awful days, before they really got onto YouTube. Watched a lot, and it's a lot like wedding planning. You know, when you're planning a wedding, you kind of go to a lot of weddings, you take note of what you like and dislike about the different weddings. You know, this works for me. You know, like, hey, my friends have a photo booth. I love photo booths, or photo booth was fun, but I really don't like how it interrupts the flow of the ceremony or reception. Maybe it's just not something that I want at my wedding. So you take those bits, say, I like this, I don't like that, kind of learn what you want your own style to be about, and that's how you find your voice. It's the same in in really anything, you know, as you watch comedians or TV shows, and anything that you want to. The best way to be a creator is to be a good student too. So, you know, there's a few things I know already that I like or dislike about certain Let's Plays. Not to say that they're bad, but just say, you know, it's not my style. In particular, I have a confession to make. This is not actually my first Let's Play, as it were. I have Let's Played I Want to Be the Guy way back in the day. My friend convinced me to do it, and it really ended up being 20 or so hours of my playing a video game while drunk, singing J-pop songs. And, I mean, I love J-pop, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't want to watch that, and I don't think anyone wants to watch that. So, the singing, random singing in the middle of watching someone play a video game, it's not worth it. So that is not something that I'm looking forward to doing, and I hope I'll catch myself if I start to do that. The other thing that I don't really like is random cursing, particularly at like the game's creators. I've seen that happen, and especially in a game like this, which I haven't talked about, but I'll maybe talk about in a bit once I finish this little rant. Yeah, talking about the game's creators, you know, and it's no singing, so I'm gonna try not to curse. I'm gonna try not to sing. If you end up looking at my Twitter account, you'll notice that these are very different than how I do on Twitter. I don't mind. In fact, a big thing in my comedic voice is song-inspired tweets. I have a really weird quirk where I love when someone does a, you know, pretty humorous 140 character version of a song with a punchline. You know, it's just you know, you make it, it's clever, you move on. And I really hate it when someone posts a full-on song parody. Now, don't get me wrong, Alan Sherman and Weird Al Yankovic are huge comedic influences in my life. I kind of feel like they got to it before it became oversaturated. I feel like now everyone thinks that they can make a Hanukkah medley of, you know, to some Meghan Trainor song, and that it's like super clever. I don't like it. You know, at that point, I get mad that someone has spent that much effort when they could be, you know, doing something a little more original, than to actually have written the whole song, which maybe doesn't take so much effort, but then to make the video, produce the video. And this is probably a little hypocritical as I sit here filming myself play a video game, which a million people have done before. But like I said, I view this kind of as a vlog. But back to my point is, I don't know, I just don't like song parodies or really even song references. You know, referential humor is, you know, you watch the South Park take on Family Guy, you know, referential humor is, it's easy. I don't like it. I much prefer smarter humor where it really builds levels into things. And, you know, it takes a bit of work to get that, and that is why I'll probably not be so good at it. Just on these videos live, while also focusing on shooting little butt worms in a basement somewhere. So you can go to my Twitter. My Twitter will be very different than my Let's Play account, and if I ever do stop being a lazy schmuck and try to do some original content in the form of comedy sketches, those will also be a little different. So now you've stuck around. It's about 14-15 minutes into this game video, and you're like, what the hell am I even watching? So maybe you're here because you searched for Binding of Isaac, or otherwise you're here through my Twitter because this would cross-post, or you're a friend, or who knows how you found this. But like, let's assume that you have no idea what it is that I'm doing with this little guy. So Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is the name of the game. It is a roguelike game, which means that it is mostly randomly generated with a few rules. So it's very Zelda 1-like. Those of you who have played the classics, like the original Zelda. It's a top-down dungeon crawler, and the rooms are randomly generated. They're randomly generated items and pickups and enemies. But there are a few different rules, like the order of the levels is always the same. Most floors have a item room, a shop. Every room has a boss. Or every floor has a boss, not every room. It's also based. So it's kind of interesting. It's based off of the titular Binding of Isaac story from the Bible, where God told Abraham, sacrifice your son to me, bind him, and kill him, and then we'll all go out for a party afterward. Oh, just kidding. Don't really kill your son. So there is a bit of a story to this game. It's Isaac's mom hears voices. Hears the voice of God saying, "Sacrifice your son to me." So she goes to kill her son. The son named Isaac goes and hides in the basement, escaping the mom. So you're running away from your crazy mom, and you hide in the basement. You go deeper and deeper, fighting all sorts of disgusting creatures that are based on poop and survival and aborted fetuses and all sorts of wonderful, wonderful things you might find in the basement. Yeah. My wife doesn't really like this game because of that. I guess it doesn't really meet her sense of humor. It is a little messed up, I will give it that. So I'm playing as Isaac right now. There's a bunch of different characters that have different stats, so forth, and there's something like 12 different characters all in all.
I can see forever.
And a whole bunch of stuff to unlock with all of them. And so that's that 1001%. So I've unlocked everything. I've done every challenge. I've beaten every boss, the secret bosses, and all that with all the different characters. Oh, crap. Okay. So what I'm doing here, so I'll explain this a bit as I play as well. Got a few different guys that are following me around, different items. I took an item in the Devil Deal last floor that gives me a damage boost when I have half of a red heart left. Red hearts are regular heart containers. Those stay with you. Blue hearts are spirit hearts or soul hearts. I call them soul hearts. Those, once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're in a mode where you're basically not running on red hearts, then you can get extra damage. But I also took an item from a boss a few floors ago that regenerates my red hearts, so it basically negated that strategy of reducing my red hearts. So I have that item, and it's not really going. So that's how I went from half a red heart up to 3. I'm on the 3rd set of levels right now, so you start at the basement, where you're hiding from your crazy mom, and you go to the caves, and then the depths. I'm also going to add that why am I still playing this if I've beaten everything? You know, it's fun. It's a different game each time, but there's a mode of the game called the dailies. And I figured I'm not going to do a daily for my first video, but I'm probably exclusively going to be doing the dailies from here on out. You know, I've been playing them, and you know, recently, and kind of, you know, seeing how I fare up against other Let's Players, and I've been competitive. I'm not by any means a prodigy, but nor am I a slouch. So I've been, so that's kind of where I want to go with this, is kind of be an exclusively Binding of Isaac daily Let's Player. Not that that's my gimmick. I think my voice is really, you know, what I want to get out into the world. My voice being my comedic voice, because I don't really like my my talking voice. But what can you do about that? All I can do is, at this point, is get like a Kylo Ren or Darth Vader mask or something else weird to change my voice, but not really. So after today, I'll be playing the dailies, and I've been trying for a few days to get a decent daily, because I don't want my first, because you know they're pretty hit and miss, and I'm not perfect by any means. I have screwed them up horribly, and I stopped recording, and even though I've been fine the last couple dailies, I hadn't recorded them, which is stupid. Because I was like, I finally did, you know, competitively, not god-awful. So this is just a random run with Isaac to introduce the game while I talk about all the comedic voice and why Let's Play and all the other stuff that I kind of wanted to touch on in my first video. And yeah, so I'll kind of you know, continue to discuss my, you know, my choices in the game, for those people who are familiar with Binding of Isaac. I find that I have, like, you know, and this is to be expected, but I have different strategies towards how I approach the game compared to some of the more popular Let's Players of this game, just to be expected. But it also does hurt me sometimes when it comes to the dailies when I don't have. See, like, here's one. So Judas's Shadow. There's a method in the, so if I die with Judas's Shadow, I resurrect as Dark Judas, and Dark Judas has advantages over other characters in that he has increased damage. But I don't like to play as Dark. I don't like to play where I kill myself. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I also have, you can get various curses on the floors. In particular, I have the Curse of the Lost on this, which means my map has disappeared. And usually I have a pretty good internal memory of the map, but I have to admit I have not been paying attention, and I have no idea where I am. So I think I've cleared everything out except for the boss room. So oh, here we go. I haven't been this way. Good. We're doing it. Should not have taken damage there. Although if there's an opportunity to become Dark Judas, I might. I got rid of Isaac's starting weapon, which is the re-rolls, randomizes your weapons, your items. So right now I picked up Diplopia, which is really good. It doubles existing, it doubles weapon things. It doubles items that appear. So with certain ones you can get pretty good bonuses. And I was hoping that I could make it to a devil deal this floor, but I have just been taking a lot of damage. I should not. It reduces my chances. And so as I was mentioning, a lot of the bosses and enemies in this game are based on, you know, Isaac's just... Okay. You know what, I want to take the Book of Shadows in me. So I will take 2 belts, both of which give me a speed upgrade. And now I'm super fast. Come back and get my Book of Shadows, which gives me temporary invincibility for that room. I think it's about 15 seconds or so. Alright, this run is going particularly slowly as I ramble semi-coherently, I hope. If I had beaten the first 6 floors in 20 minutes or less, you know, the counter now says 25 minutes almost, then I could have gone to Boss Rush, where I have to fight a ton of bosses in a row. Get extra items from it. There's a second one if I beat the 8th level in less than 30 minutes. There's another secret floor, which both of these are important when I play the dailies, because you get a score, a big score boost for doing either of those. But this one is a more meandering sort of day, so I will probably not reach either of those. Boss Rush is for sure not happening. Then there's the Blue Womb level at 30 minutes is probably not going to happen. There's still basically 3 floors to beat. Ghost Baby. You know what? I'm going to do this as we'll recharge it pretty much in this room, mostly. I kind of want Ghost Baby. It's not considered the best. Oh, how'd that hit me? You know, it is, but it's, I've got 4 familiars at this point. You can get a transformation if you get enough familiars. So if I can get anything that gives me flying for a room, I could pick him up and maybe get the conjoined transformation, which people don't like, but it's really like getting triple shot. I don't know, I like it. Experiencing, I got this new keyboard. I'm gonna have to get a new keyboard. If I am not touching buttons for a bit, it freezes up on me for a few seconds. And it does that in, not just in video games, but it does that in like Microsoft Word or GChat or whatever should not be doing that. It's very frustrating. It's a, I think it's the Microsoft keyboard too. No, it's the HP. It's the Hewlett-Packard. So I blame Hewlett-Packard. This is Book of Secrets. It tells me where. Probably just did the map. It does a map, a compass, or a blue map. And because I don't see any secret rooms or additional things on my map, then I am going to assume that it is... it did the map on me. You know what? We have a sacrifice room. Sacrifice room is interesting because you can use it to skip a lot of... You can use it to get things and skip a lot of levels, especially if you're going after one of the secret bosses, which is Mega Satan. Yeah, he's one of the special bosses. He's like the endgame boss. Which usually you can't attack unless there is... yeah, okay. You usually can't get there unless you do a certain set of circumstances to do it. And I think that we have all the signs pointing towards going to fight Mega Satan immediately. So how do we do that? We go to the sacrifice room and we basically have to hurt ourselves something like 10 times. So each time you hurt yourself on a floor, certain things happen. You feel blessed, means it's more likely to get an angel deal than a devil deal. So because we have all these hearts laying around, we can now do it. You also need 2 key pieces to fight Mega Satan. Ooh, holy shot. I like that. So we have a bunch of hearts up here. So after like 5 or 6 sacrifices, you get a chance to... I don't need the hermit. Get a chance to... find the... get an angel item, like kind of a holy item. The very next one should trigger their first angel fight. And then once we have our angel fight, we start getting key pieces. So Holy Light is very good. Every now and then you'll see a glowing ball of light come from my face. And when that happens, if that hits an enemy... Ooh, I just got hit, and I did not want to get hit. If that hits an enemy, it does a ton of damage. Might also be worth it to try to find our super secret room. There we go. I was really hoping that would have a lot more red hearts in it. Sometimes these are full of red hearts. I also just should not have gotten hit by the red fire. Ooh, judgment. I got hit by 2 red fires. This is not my best gameplay, but like I said, I'm saving that for when I'm actually playing the dailies. Ooh, yes. Fate's Reward. So Judgment brings a beggar, and I can pay him. There's also an aspect of this. I don't remember how many health you spawn with as Dark Judas. Otherwise, I would just kill myself. You know what? If this guy gives... Maybe that's what I do. If this guy gives me... a health upgrade... Which he just gave me the black bean, which is a horrible thing. No one likes it. You know what? I'm gonna double my 2 of hearts. So the Yara rune doubles everything. So I have 2 of hearts, which can get me HP up. I have another couple hearts there. I'm just worried about once I beat the angel statues, about, I'll end up going to the final level on the evil side. I don't want to have too many... I don't want to have so much HP, or missing HP. When I get there, I don't want to be at like 1 HP. So I'm also going to grab a battery to up my... renew my Book of Shadows. Now I should fight the second angel. We'll get invincibility and just wail on him. You might see every now and then a beam of light comes and hits him from... That's my Holy Light shot. It does a whole bunch of damage. I like it. It is good. So now we have both key pieces. Fuck. And we can go fight Mega Satan. I was gonna go directly. I thought we were on one level before, so now we're fighting Mom. But this lets us show off all the other levels. So this is Mom's foot. This was the original boss of the game. That's what the black bean does, is I fart whenever I get hit. I'm mad at myself. I meant to go back into the sacrifice room. Anyway, so that was Mom. And now that we've defeated Mom, we have entered her womb. Very lovely. And we are fighting all the creatures inside Mom's giant vagina, so it's very lovely. This is actually where Holy Light. I like Holy Light a lot. These guys, I think they're called hosts. Alright, well that's indicative that we have half of a heart left, which is not good. But we will still turn into Dark Judas, not to forget. But we are no longer have the Curse of Babylon, so we must have at least one heart. There are actually two things, besides the placenta giving me HP. There is... I have this leech guy, which when he kills enemies, it's pretty good for doing damage, but he also kills enemies, and that gives me health. Here's our secret room. And I'm not being very, not talking a lot. Outside. Ooh, now we can fly. This gives us flight. This is what I wanted for Dry Baby. Or Ghost Baby. Dry Baby's a lot better than Ghost Baby. But we did not get Dry Baby. Let's take this pill. I don't know what this pill does. Addicted makes you take double damage in the room, which is fine because there's nothing left to give us damage in that room. I don't know why I'm referring to the, in the second person, or in the first person plural, I guess it's a Let's Play. That's why we're in it together. That's the whole point about the Let's Play, is you can feel like we're in it together so that you can't be mad at me when I play like crap, because it's really you playing like crap too. We are, it's Let's Playing, it's not me playing, it's not watch me playing. Yeah. So, if I lose, it's everyone's fault. And I think that's an important distinction to make, because I don't want to... This is a creepy room. This looks like a face. It's an important distinction to make because I don't want to be blamed for playing poorly. I don't like to take responsibility for my actions. I find that to be... offensive in a way, that people expect me to admit imperfection when, you know, really I'm perfect in every way, and you should know this. Krampus is an alternate to Devil Deals. Sometimes when you try to get a Devil Deal, you get Krampus, which makes sense. It's the reason for the season. Not that I'm a big Christmas fan. I actually am not big on Christmas at all. Do I take Krampus's head? I like Krampus's head. I've not been using Book of Shadows. A lot of people I watch hate Krampus's head. It basically does that laser beam attack. It's awesome. But yeah, so I'm not a big Christmas fan. And I blame that on my parents. Well, I blame that on my being Jewish, first of all. But also, when I was young, my parents used to drive me around town, looking at all the Christmas lights, listening to Christmas music for hours on end. You know, just like, oh, let's go look at lights for hours and hours and hours. And you know, I'm getting car sick and just like sick of being in the car looking at Christmas lights. So, listening to Christmas music, which, ooh, Compass is good. It tells me where the boss is and all the other stuff. But yeah, like, A, you know, it's not my holiday. B, I don't want to be doing this. I don't know why they think this was funny. And my dad will deny it. My mom will kind of admit that she does it, but my dad does not admit that this was a thing that he did, you know. He also does not like like to take responsibility. That's where I get it from. Yeah, but it's Christmas music frustrates the hell out of me, for multiple reasons. One of it being, you know, the biggest reason is it's just obnoxious, and I don't like it because it's not my holiday. But there's no real other holiday that has like so much music dedicated to it. Like, if you think about it, there's not song after song after song about like Labor Day or Arbor Day or 4th of July. You know, 4th of July has Proud to Be an American and Born in America, and that's like it. I should point out that, so there are two paths you can go after beating Mom's heart / fetus heart, which is like an ectopic pregnancy heart. I don't know what that is. There's a good path and a bad path, based on which picture you take earlier in the game after beating Mom's foot. It gives you access to the level after this one, but only if you're on the right path. So we took the good path because we took the Polaroid and not the negative. This will take us to the chest, where we'll go fight Mega Satan. Where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about Christmas music and Arbor Day music. But there's a lot of Christmas music and no other holiday gets that. But there's also like this aspect of it where there's not like so much new Christmas music. I mean, there are people that write new songs every year, but for the most part, it's all the old songs. It's all the carols. It's like after 1970, songwriters like the Songwriter Guild or whoever just got together while they were, you know, doing Band-Aid, Feed the World. After Let Them Know It's Christmas, that was, they were like, you know what? We're good on Christmas music. Looking for secret rooms here. I don't want to go into the boss fight without one more heart if I can help it. But yeah, it's just like, come on. Write new stuff. Not that I really want to listen to it, but if I did, I'd want there to be new stuff. So this is Isaac. He is the boss of the cathedral level that I'm on, and you're fighting yourself, so it's very kind of existential. It's like, oh, maybe the bad guy was me the whole time. I was the bad guy. I really do need to sacrifice myself for God. And he has 3 phases, and I'm on phase 3 already. You know, usually by the time you get to this point in the game, you should be powerful enough to kind of wreck him. Which is why I'll fight Mega Satan this round, because he's a little harder than typical boss of the game. Oh man, he ran right into me. I can't forget that I have this Dark Judas thing in my pocket. So yeah, would I be happy if people wrote more Christmas songs? Probably not. You know, I'm definitely a Grinch like that. Here we are in the chest, which is the... maybe this will give me the conjoined transformation. Nope. So that door is the Mega Satan door. I want to go fight Blue Baby, which is the boss of this, real quick. Please see if I can get any other cool items. Every chest in the chest gives you a new item, which is unlike any other level. There's a equivalent called the Dark Room for the Evil Path. Yeah. So, yeah. So no, I would not be happy if people were writing more Christmas music. But that doesn't stop me from wondering why, you know, nothing else has kind of taken hold as like as a modern classic. You know, maybe Mariah Carey is like the most recent one. Mariah Carey and Wham have the most recent Christmas music. So long story short, it was apropos that we were fighting Krampus about 10 minutes ago, and I'm still talking about this. I don't know, it's just not a holiday. Everything shuts down. I enjoy getting time off. Get a week and a half off work, which, you know, I'm actually going on my honeymoon in, you know, to say, my wife! Yay, I'm married, everyone. But I am going on my honeymoon over this Christmas break, and it's all paid vacation because my company shuts down, which is really nice. So I won't be uploading a video probably till after the new year because of that. So this is the one and only video you get. Should have thought before you started watching me on your Christmas break. Do I mind saying Merry Christmas to people? No, even though I'm not Christian. It's fine. If people say Christmas to me, I don't correct them. It's not something that I need to really be a dick about, you know. I'm all about being a dick sometimes, but I don't think it's really necessary. Like, I do have my PhD, and I don't correct people when they call me doctor unless it's on a wedding invitation. They say to Mr. I will say doctor, but I will let people get away with calling me Mr. My wife actually called me Mr. on our second date, or after our first date, before our second date. And my dad has never let her live it down. So that made its way into the wedding vows, which I thought was quite amusing. So yeah, I don't mind if people tell me Merry Christmas. I don't mind telling people Merry Christmas. But I do think it's a little much to go to like a Quiznos and you're eating your sub and you have to listen to Hark the Herald Angels Sing over and over again. Or whatever. And you gotta feel bad for the employees too, because you know that they've heard that on loop. I used to work retail way back in the day, and it was not fun. Ooh, Transcendent Tears. They basically Pac-Man your tears. They go through. Yeah. So listening to the same music day after day is not fun. Even when it's good good hits, good, you know, top 40 pop, which, you know, I like pop. I like my pop music. I'm not afraid to say it. I used my 2 of hearts. I don't know if I should have. So yeah, so to add the Christmas aspect on top of that, just, you know, tip people well, is I guess where I'm going with that. Treat people well, don't be a dick. Customer is always, is not always right, you know. Customer does not have the right to be a dick, basically. I'm playing poorly enough that I could die here. This is Blue Baby. This is the, one of the bosses of the game. If you're not going for the super secret boss. There we go, we beat him. So now, I will go fight Mega Satan in a moment. I'm gonna charge up quickly. Try to get to full health, maybe. Unless I'm just playing so poorly that just go ahead, go to Mega Satan. Ooh, I should not have gotten hit there. But he gave me all the health back. And then I got hit again. Trying to do these without getting hit so that I can build up my health. Placenta is doing a pretty good job of replenishing. I'll let Leech take off Wrath there. Maybe I search for the super secret room while I'm at it. I don't want this video to go too long, but it's already probably 48 minutes, almost 49. It'll probably be 55 or so by the end of it, which, congrats for sticking around this long if you have. Explosive diarrhea, not a great one. Alright, this room should not, these guys are not bosses, they're just like kind of big enemies, so these are Continuum. I don't really ever have a chance to sit and try to do it this way, where I shoot through the wall. I think I have some fun. Yeah, those guys were not horrible. We got health out of it. There's our super secret room. We get Whipworm. This basically makes our stuff super long, but we already get that with the Continuum. So I'm going to play one more room just to charge up my Krampus's head. 2 super sloths. We deal with these guys. I'm gonna push it. See if I can just get a placenta charge or 2. Maybe an extra item. Got another heart from little Chad, which is nice. Okay, last room, then we do Mega Satan. Alright, 3 Lokis. Should not be a difficult room. I could very easily be stupid. Especially with the bomb flies they are shooting. I think they have an official name. I don't know what they are. Alright, we got 2 guys down. The Emperor takes us to the boss that we've already killed. Alright, so 51 minutes. Thanks for bearing with me. I am now going to fight Mega Satan. So this is the secret boss of the game. You need both key pieces to unlock him. To unlock his door. To unlock him in general, you just have to get to him, really. You have to unlock the game far enough where you have gotten to the chest or the dark side equivalent, the dark room. So his shtick is it's bullet hell, even more so than... I wonder if this hits him. So you get him down to like 75% HP, and he summons the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So this is Famine and Pestilence. Once we beat these guys, War and Death will appear. So there you go. There's Death. And War. Oh man, should not have gotten hit. The nice thing about having Placenta for this battle is that it heals you over time. So the longer this goes on, the more health, and the longer I go without getting hit. So I gotta take out this last dude. So I find the best way is to take out one of his hands and then just keep hitting it from the side. But then he does crap like that. He's about to do a super laser, which hopefully will take out his little minions. Not the adorable ones from Despicable Me. There's that referential humor that I promised I wouldn't do, and I've already broken it. So he's 50% down, so now he will summon the 7 Sins. So this is Super Envy. They're all the super versions. I haven't really had a chance to explain this as I played. Yeah. So it's very metaphorical. So yeah, existential. We beat Isaac. We killed Isaac in the last level. So you know the true enemy was yourself. But then we fought Blue Baby, which is the asphyxiated, stillborn version of Isaac in this level, which means that we reject death. You know, we killed the alternate version of ourselves where we said, no, we don't want to be the ones who didn't make it. We actually want to live. I'm playing like crap. I probably should Krampus's head at some point. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Alright, well now I died and I'm Dark Judas, which means that I have 2 health. So let's try to do this without 2 health. I could very well die here. Yeah, so we've rejected death. We've rejected the version of ourselves where we die. And now we have to kill... we reject the apocalypse. We say, we keep the end of the world. End of the world, reject the sins, and then we die because I wasn't paying attention and talking about this. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is my first. I will probably have more coming up in the new year. And look forward to Let's Playing together. Signing out.